Hi friends, I'm coming to you from my home this morning and I am looking forward to reading to you today. We miss you at Towson Presbyterian and hope to see you again soon, but until then, I'm going to read to you McDuff Moves In by Rosemary Wells, and the pictures are done by Susan Jeffers. The pictures are so good in this book. I can't wait to read it to you. I may need to stand up so I can see the page. In the back of a dog catcher's truck sat a little white dog that nobody wanted. Do you see him sitting in there? Thump went the truck over a bump in the road. The little dog popped out into the night. What's going to happen to him? He tumbled onto the soft earth of a tulip bed. He did not know where he was. He needed something to eat, and he needed a warm place to sleep. Look at him walking up the street all by himself. So he went looking. Woof, said the little white dog at the front door of number 6 Pine Road. But the answer from the other side was, "Grrr." What do you think is in there? Maybe another dog. Woof, he said on the front steps of number 12 Oak Lane. But someone said, hiss, from the woodpile. That cat doesn't want the dog to come around. Strange voices hooted and whistled at him from the trees. What could that be? Many pairs of eyes winked and blinked at him from the darkness of people's gardens. What could be making that hoot hoot sound? I would run too. Rain poured down. Oh no! It swirled and it swept around him. But suddenly, the wind came up and it blew the clouds and the rain away. Do you see how wet he got? Ugh. It's calmed down. There's just a lot of puddles. And the moon smiled full on the world through an open window in the kitchen of number 7 Elm Road, wafted the smell of vanilla rice pudding and sausages. Woof, 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 said the little white dog. Nobody growled at him. Nobody hissed at him. Somebody opened the door and asked him to come in. It was Lucy. "This is Fred," said Lucy. No one had ever asked him to come in. Everyone had always told him to go away. "What does his collar say?" asked Fred. "Animal number 47, City Dog Pound," said Lucy. "He needs help," said Fred. Lucy spooned out a dish of vanilla rice pudding and she sliced sausages on top of it. "He's hungry," she said. "Look at him begging. He must love that." After a coconut herbal bath, he looked like a snow cloud. "We certainly can't keep him," Fred said. "We are much too busy." "I guess we'll have to take him to the dog pound," said Lucy. So they brought him into the car. Fred drove up and down and around. "You're going in circles, Fred," said Lucy. Look at that little dog's face in the car. "I don't want to find the dog pound," said Fred. "I don't want you to find it," said Lucy. Fred and Lucy brought their new friend home. "All he needs is a name," said Fred. They celebrated with hot chocolate. Lucy opened a tin of McDuff's melt-in-your-mouth shortbread biscuits. "That's it," said Fred. "Woof, woof," said McDuff. Look at him. He wants those biscuits too. That's what English people call cookies. The night was nearly gone. The rain clattered and spattered all over everything. Lucy and Fred and McDuff fell sound asleep. "How happy we are," they said in their dreams. And look, Fred is holding McDuff's paws. That was a very sweet story, wasn't it? It was one of our favorites when my kids were growing up. So I was thinking about this story, and McDuff, who didn't have a name at the time, ran into some kind of uncomfortable weather. Weather can be all kinds of things, right? Sunny, windy, cloudy, rainy, foggy, snowy. Snowy's one of my favorite, but we haven't had that this winter. But I took that and I thought, what kind of weather fun can you have? So we have a few things to show. I have a few things to show you and suggest that maybe you can do at home. I don't know that you can do all of them, but you may do something like it if you see something here you like. So first thing I want to show you is I made some cloud dough. It's very white. It's actually wrapped in plastic. You could put it in wax paper, and then I put it in a little baggie just to keep it nice and moist. I made it with conditioner, hair conditioner, a half a cup, and actually, I believe, yeah, just a half a cup. This is what I added extra of. And I have a bag of cornstarch, okay? And the recipe is for 1 cup of cornstarch to 1/2 a cup of conditioner. But I ended up having to put in probably a few extra tablespoons of cornstarch. Otherwise, it was just way too gooey and you couldn't play with it. But I'll show you what it's like. This is cloud dough. It's like Play-Doh, but it smells like hair conditioner, and it's only made with 2 ingredients. So if you have a lot of cornstarch in your house, you can play with cloud dough. I thought that would be fun. It actually is fun. It's a lot like Play-Doh. And it also feels good to my hands. So just playing with it, pulling it apart. It's not that slime, because it's not really slimy. There's enough cornstarch in here. It's a lot more like Play-Doh. So you can make that very easily with your mom or dad. This is something I told the friends in my class about. When my kids were little, before we walked the dogs or just took a walk outside just to get outside, sometimes we would make something like this. We would draw a bunch of things that we thought we might be able to see outside. And I was thinking with spring here, and it's only been about 10 days of spring, maybe we should look for signs of spring. That's a different season of weather. So what I put on here were, well, little purple flowers, violets, daffodils, bugs. This is a pine cone, little berries. Down here, a bird's nest. Maybe you'll see one of those. A flag, a cardinal, an acorn. You can see those all year round, but I have a ton of them in my neighborhood. And a squirrel. And then you just take something like a pencil or a little marker or crayon with you. You can mark it off as you go. And you can make up your own list. Look for either signs of spring or things that you think you might see in your neighborhood. We used to do stuff like a red door, or somebody's soccer ball, or a trash can, anything that we thought, a birdhouse, a bird feeder, whatever you want to put on your list, you can do as many variations as you want. We had a lot of fun with that. The next thing I would suggest is on a day, well right now it's looking really good, on a day like today, there's blue sky and then there's puffy clouds separated. It's not cloudy all over the place like one big gray sky. You really can't look for shapes in that kind of cloud. But today, definitely, it is a day where you can look at the clouds and say, what does that look like? Do you see a bunny in a cloud? Do you see a cow? Do you see a castle or a unicorn? Or do you see Spider-Man or one of the Paw Patrol friends? Who knows? You could see an airplane, ooh, or a fire truck, a hook and ladder fire truck. You never know what you're gonna find. So I would suggest doing that. This looked like a fun activity. I saw it online, and actually my sister said she used to do it with her kids. So I took an umbrella. This one has dogs on it, which is kind of fun because we did just read McDuff. And yep, I'm opening it up in the house. And you would put it on the floor, upside down, like this. And then, if you've got little bean bags, you can use bean bags and play a beanbag toss game. But I think socks are lighter. They may not harm your umbrella. I'm worried about breaking my umbrellas. So I would take a bunch of rolled up socks and see if you can throw them in. Can you see that? And you could put this umbrella a little close to you, far away from you, over a piece of furniture, like on the opposite side of your sofa, and you can see how many you guys can throw in there. And you can, if you've got brothers or sisters, or you're just your mom or your dad, or a babysitter, whoever's with you, see how much luck you have throwing that in there. Then, let's see. Oh, this is still sort of warm. This isn't probably gonna work on camera, but I have a science experiment that I found online, and let's see, hold on, researchparent.com. It was called Making Your Own Cloud, and yesterday I tested it in my house, and it worked really well. So if you have a mason jar, but you don't have to have a mason jar, it could be you know, a spaghetti jar or a jelly jar, and you just put the lid on. Anyway, I have mason jars, so I am going to show you. You would put some, not too much, some warm water. Run your faucet maybe like when the dishwasher is already going, so that the hot water comes really quick. Get it very warm. If you want to, you can microwave it. Just don't microwave it so it's boiling, maybe 30 seconds to get it quite warm. Put the water in the jar. Oh, I'm gonna keep showing you up here. And then you can take just the top of a mason jar without the screw part, but you could put a lid on a jelly jar or something. And then, oh, I forgot something. Darn it. This is for your parents to do. They're gonna light a match, and I did that, and you put it inside the jar. It heats up the air in the jar, and as soon as it gets too short, drop it in the water. It won't hurt anything. Okay, so now you have a match that's been lit, and it's warmed up the air in here, and now it's in the water. You're gonna put the lid on, and then I have ice cubes. And you'll put ice cubes on the top. And why are we doing this? Well, I've got a good question for you. Have you ever noticed that your glass of lemonade that's nice and cold in the summer gets real wet on the outside? That's because the atmosphere, the air that has moisture in it and is much warmer than your cup of lemonade is condensating? Yeah, condensating on your glass of lemonade. So it gets real wet, the water from the air. So this water, if you have warm enough water and you've done your match trick, it does the same thing. It's gonna try and wet the bottom part of this lid right here, because this ice is making your lid really cold. And it looks like a cloud coming up. And eventually what I did, maybe after, for me, I think it was about 30 seconds, but on the video, the person making the video said it could take 2 minutes, but it took about 30 seconds. Then I went like this, and you can actually watch the cloud of misted water come out. You can make your own cloud. Who knew? I've got one more suggestion for you, and I did find it online. It was a good one. So bath time is really fun, but you could also just play in a sink. I happen to have, let's see, I'm gonna move everything a little bit. I happen to have these things in my basement. They're called laundry tubs, like a little, I don't know, box, plastic one, so it can hold water. And basically, what you do is you can see how much rain you want to come. If you want a gentle rain, a little rain, you will take a cup. Oh, that's not the gentle rain. You'll take a cup and you only put a couple of holes in it. Okay, let's see what difference happens. Oh, wow. That's a pretty gentle rain. And by the way, you can put your tub toys in the sink or in one of these things and play with them. You know, give them a shower or put a little boat in there and see what happens when you make it rain on top of them. All right, so I numbered mine 1, 2, and 3. 1 had 3 holes. 2 had 6 holes. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, some of them want to go sideways. Kind of like a real rainstorm. How the wind will push the rain in different directions. Hold on. This one has 9 holes, so you can see it's really coming down. It'll wet your little friends very quickly. And then I had a paper cup because maybe you don't have red Solo cups. And it was actually easier to push the holes in. I did, I think, I don't know, 12, 14 holes. I wanted to see what that would look like. Wow, it worked a lot better before. I gotta say, right after I did it, the holes, oh, paper cups maybe aren't that good. It wants to hold it. Maybe we would call this the gentlest rain. A sprinkle. It's pretty fun. So I suggest you have some fun, either in a sink or your tub. And I hope that you have a great day. I'm gonna try and get outside today because it is sunny and it's not raining, and it has been raining so much lately. We've been really cooped up. So I will be coming back to you soon, so please look at our YouTube videos, and all the other teachers are doing it too. So, best to everybody.